My name's Julius Cruikshank. I'm part of the DX team. I'm the creative lead, and we wanted to put together a little video for you of the Rest Retire quiz um, that will accompany a link through to a prototype of the same thing that you'll be able to click through. We wanted to create a video just so that we could walk through and give a little bit of the context as to the thinking behind some of the choices we made with Rest Retire. Now, you'll also see within this prototype, it is a work in progress. So there are places, and I'll point them out where I see them, there are places that still have holding text. Here you'll see we've used a lot of Latin because we are still determining what's just the right text and the right amount of text on this landing page that will capture someone's attention, let them know why they're here and what they're going to get out of it, and quite quickly shuffle them through to the Start Now button, which is really what we want them to get them to go. What will also be coming in here, which we don't have any, is more of a footer at the bottom. A little bit like we have the traditional rest.com.au masthead with the navigation across the top, we will be getting a footer below this as well. But once we go into the quiz, a lot of those elements will be reduced because one thing that we are trying to do is create a very focused experience. We don't want to have any distractions. We want people just to start the ride and get all the way through and get to the end. This illustration also is a holding one. We have a timeline within the quiz that you'll see in a moment that incorporates ticks for things that you've done and a flag for the final page where you're going to get to. And this is just a holding illustration that will utilize some of that for now. But I'll start the quiz so you can sort of see how the top masthead gets minimized. It's still the rest masthead, but it removes a lot of the elements, and you'll start to see how the quiz takes shape. Now, here's the first question. You can see the masthead across the top. We only have the REST logo in the same place it was before, but we've removed everything else just for this quiz. You can see the title, Retire Ready, and then a timeline to the right of it. The use of the timeline is a way for anybody coming into this to really get an idea of the commitment they're making to this. Like, most people don't want to be sitting here for a long time having to fill out a giant questionnaire. So what we put here is like there's six steps to being retire ready. And we're going to ask you just the right questions in just the right way so that we can get you retire ready. We want to make this, for want of a better word, very Fisher-Price simple and very frictionless. Each of the questions you'll see along the way, we've picked a couple of emojis. Actually, for some of them, we've crafted new emojis, and we may craft new emojis. These are holding ones, but not emojis, resticons, sorry. So some of these are from our library, and some of these are going to add to our library that we've crafted just for this experience. So each question along the quiz has radio buttons. If you tap any of these, it turns off the others. So you can only select one to move forward. And once one is selected, it'll get a dot in it, and then next will become active, and someone will be able to go next. So here you can see on the timeline, it shows you which step you're at. So you're at step 2 of 6 right now, and when you've done one, we give it a nice big green tick. That plays into the completionists in us who really love to just collect the ticks and love to finish something and get all the way to the end. So here we have a question, and you've answered yes. You press next. Are you 60 or over? Yes. Now what you'll see in the next step is that some of these questions have a comment based on the answer that you've made. So we make that take over the screen a little bit, but be really easy to move past. So here you've answered yes. So this does fill the entire screen, but again, it was designed to be a really simple little message. It's related to the answer you just gave. We make it snackable size, like it's not very much. We make it really clear and easy to use. We've checked also, there was some discussion about the shades of green with the white. This is AA compliant. This is really clean. So it'll be very clear to someone even not with great eyesight. You've reached your preservation age, but you can continue. So you press continue. Then you get to the next question, and here we're going to answer, can I work part-time in Access Super as the thing that we're most curious about. Remember that because there'll be a comment after this one, but that also comes up when you get through to the final stage as well. So they answer yes, or they tick the second one, they press next. It's yes, there are a variety of part-time work options in retirement. Here it says, at the end of the quiz, you'll find more useful tools and resources to help you learn more about just this. Have you thought about a plan for your retirement? There should be a dot in there, but we're going to say, yeah, and you press next. Great, you're on the right track. These comments are really only related to the answer. We didn't want to add them to the timeline because it would beef up the timeline and make it look like a lot longer than it really is. Now, step six, step six isn't really a question, but it is but it was important that we get in that rest advice exists. It's something that we bring up again down the track. We don't want them to action or say or jump into rest advice right now because this from step one to the flag is almost, if you think of it like a roller coaster. We want them to get on at the beginning and then get off at the end. We didn't want them to leave, so they can't action rest advice, but it does come up and this phone icon, the handset, turns up again. So then get to the final step. You've completed the quiz, and now you can take them to the results. Now, on these pages, we're going to have some illustrations at the top here, which will be different for each of the end result pages, of which there's really 3 main end result pages. With 3 answers at the bottom, but each of those 3 have their own sections with them as well. So because you had answered, can I work part-time and access super, this one of all of the concertinas here of information will be pulled to the top. Again, we want to make this as clear and feel a bit personalized. It's as personalized as we can get without having asked them a ton more questions. So here, this one will be automatically open for you. And I think the content for this one has been written just right. At the top, we have a summary, so it's like a really easy bite size for the skimmers who just really don't want to read. There's a quick summary here, which can help them along. There's a video, so they can lean back and just watch the video, and then a little bit more information here. Now, and then there's a what's next, which is really good. Then there are 4 other sections that they can jump into with the 4 other key sorts of questions that this cohort might be interested in, and they will all open up and close the one above. And then below that, we bring back our yellow handset, and this is where someone can action the rest advice and go after that and reach out. At the very bottom, if the quiz has, well, not that it hasn't taken you to the right spot, but if you actually are open to knowing what it would be like if you were only just planning for retirement in the early stages, or if you had already stopped working and you were already retired, you can take those paths, but based on the answers that you gave during the quiz, we got you to the right spot for who you are here, but we don't want to restrict anybody from being able to go back and get to a different result. So that's the entirety of the quiz. A couple more details about it. We've deliberately made this feel very rest with an edge. So the design of this is designed to feel very familiar, but there are some elements within there which are new, and we've created them just for this experience, so that it does feel a little fresh and can. I think people will really appreciate that. I'll go back to the beginning here. Just with the overall design of it, yeah, we use the resticons really nicely, and we're going to update those. But overall, we think we've crafted something that is going to work really well, be evergreen for rest, so it's not something that's trendy and will date, but is something that will grow. So these are the foundations of something that we think we're going to expand upon and build out going into the future. Cool. If you've got any questions, please reach out to myself, Julius, or Minju, or Steve on the team, or also Ellen and the crew. Thanks.